welcome to another gardening video on my channel. My name is Boonks. Guys, spring is here. We know now, October, we know spring starts. Okay, guys, I was really confused when I started growing this season, because I started in September, because spring starts then, and nothing really was growing. But in October, as soon as the month started, the rain started falling, the plants started getting, they started doing this. they started doing this, so what I wanted to actually do is keep track of the times when spring has started, when things are starting to grow, what certain plants are starting to grow at this time, just as like a diary for then the next season as well. And I also need you guys to be a part of it. We are fam here, fam delis here. So I also want you guys to share what is growing in your garden at this time, so that we can also have like a database basically of all the crops that we can grow in South Africa at this time. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Do all the lovely things, and let's get into the growing. Okay guys, so first on the list we have pumpkin, and as you can see, it's growing inside the ground. As I said before, I started growing these in September, so I planted these seeds in September around that time, and so it seems like now it's the right time to be planting some pumpkin. And so with pumpkin, I would suggest that you have a lot of space, because they will just keep trellising itself, going all the way all over your garden. So you can either trellis it like this, where it will grow up onto these wires. So they will grow and attach themselves onto these wires and then grow upwards. Or you can just have them grow onto the ground. Yeah, so obviously growing them on the ground, they'll be more susceptible to disease and like pests climbing all over them and stuff. If you're a lazy gardener, then I think then that growing it on the ground would be the easiest method. But then if you grow it on a trellis, I think that would be the most productive way. You can use a lot less space, and you will probably get less diseases on them. With this one, I'm just gonna grow it onto the ground and see how it goes. And I think we will be okay. We'll be okay. Next, we have spinach. Now the spinach is kind of crowded out. It's in a crowd of beetroot and spinach as well, but definitely spinach is another one that you should be growing in October. It's a very easy crop to grow, and what I love about spinach is that you will always have it in your garden. As long as you look after it, you will always have spinach in your garden growing every single year, just like how this one is growing. So in winter, the spinach was, it was a very sad looking spinach. But now that spring is here, look at it. It's blooming again, so it's starting again. It's producing the spinach again. So that's one thing that I really love about spinach. Once you have it, it's always there in the garden forever. And then that also now brings me back to this part with the beetroot. Beetroot is another one that you definitely should be growing. So you can see the difference between spinach and beetroot by the length, by the size of the actual leaves. So with beetroot, the leaves are a lot more thinner. They start off like this, and then they go thinner. But this also could be this also could be spinach, if I'm not mistaken. But with beetroot, it has a lot thinner leaves as compared to spinach. But yeah, so definitely again, another one would be beetroot. Yeah, guys, so the nice thing about beetroot is that okay, so in twofold, let me say it comes in twofold benefits, and it will basically, you don't have to, when you're planting beetroot, you don't really have to worry about the spacing with because with root crops they will be able to adjust itself to fit everybody that's in that space. So that's one thing that's really good about root crops. They will accommodate each other, so you don't have to really worry about who's taking up the most energy, who's, they will accommodate for each other. Another thing is that they're really, really easy to grow. They are so easy. It's one of the crops that I would definitely get kids involved in, because you will be able to see the germination of the crops very, very quickly. And then a third one is that they also prepare the soil. Root crops will basically, they dig into the soil, and the crops itself grow inside the ground. So now you can imagine them digging into the ground, them spreading themselves out in the ground. It just prepares and it makes the soil softer. So if, for example, you grow beetroot or carrots in one section in one season, and then the next season you plant something like potatoes, let's say, for example, then the potatoes would be in an environment that has already been prepared for it. So definitely beetroot is another crop that you should definitely have in your garden. Another crop that you should have in your garden is potatoes. So as you can see here, potatoes are growing, and these are from literally just potatoes that I planted last season. I left them in the ground, and I store bought potatoes, and I just put them into the ground last season, and now they're starting to pop up. So yeah, we have actually quite a lot of potatoes in this patch. Let me just show you. So we have here, we have some over here, we have the boys over here. We have one over here, and another thing is that we have some more, and we have some more in this patch as well. And here, what's weird is that over here in this patch is that I didn't even plant any potatoes here. They just started growing over in this side. So yeah, man, potatoes you can take from store-bought potatoes. You can even buy seed potatoes and then plant them in there. Yes, if you've been following my channel for a while, you would know that one of my favorite crops to grow in spring are peas. As you can see, there's some growth already in terms of the peas. I love peas. They are so easy to grow. They love the spring weather. They are always one of the first crops to pop up in spring, and they're so easy to grow. This is one crop that I would always recommend a beginner gardener to start growing, because it will definitely encourage you to grow more, and you will also be able to harvest your crops, without it actually taking too long, because they're gonna start growing, they're gonna start producing those seed pods, and then you can just come into the garden and pluck some things out while it's growing. So I love this is one of the crops that you should definitely get your kids involved in. And then we have at number 6, we have cucumber. So yeah, with cucumber, they are definitely one of those crops that can take over the garden. That's why I've put it in the trellising section of my garden, so that it can grow upwards, and also just take up a little bit less space, and be less susceptible to what's this, 2 diseases. So here, cucumber, we have a little pekinizer here, we have a little pupunizer, just chilling over here with the peas. And yeah, man, I'm excited to at least see this one grow. Hopefully a lot more pop up, because I've planted a lot of cucumbers in this section. So yeah, but definitely cucumber, another one that's growing in October. And then last but definitely not least, we have Marigold. Now, if you know Marigold, you know that this can be very, very invasive on the garden. See those little specks? Except for, you see these, obviously that's grass, ignore that. But these little pop-ups here, these little patches of green, those are all marigolds. Yeah guys, so with a fair warning with marigolds, marigolds are a great crop to have around other crops, because it number one, it reduces the risk of crops being infested by other insects and even other pests that may bother plants, right? And it's also good for the soil as well. The problem with marigold is that it's very, very invasive. If you let the plant go to seed, it will be, by the next season, it will be covered with marigold seeds everywhere. So what I would recommend is that you grow it in a certain patch, and only in that patch. If I had known, I think I would have also done it in a specific patch, and then it would grow in that patch alone, right? Or you can even have it in a container where it stays in that container. But to allow it to go all over the garden, it's a bit of a hassle. Yeah, so marigold definitely has its benefits. Just be careful with it, guys. And then I saw a comment from someone on one of my other videos, and they were asking me, how do I plant the crops? And you know, I think if you've been watching my channel for a while, you would know that I'm very simple. I'm a very simple gardener. I don't like complication. I don't like complicated things. One thing, okay, so with a standard, with the crops that I've mentioned, all of them are very easy to grow. All of them. All you need is soil, and it doesn't even have to be the best soil as well. It doesn't even have to be the best soil. Just get soil, the soil that's in your garden, the soil that you get from stores. Get that soil, put it into, whether you planting into containers, whether you planting into the garden, always don't plant the seeds too deep. And when I say too deep, I mean like maybe like a finger, maybe from your fingernail, it just should maybe cover your fingernail. Basically the soil should cover your fingernail, and that's how deep they all should be, right? Obviously other crops have their specifications, which you can read on the back of the seed packets, which will show you how deep, how long you should expect germination. But with me, I always just think gardening is very simple. It's a very simple task. Plant. Just put the seeds into the ground, cover, water, hope that it rains. That's one thing again. This is one thing that I love about this season, is that it has a perfect balance of rain and the sun together. So the rain, for me, I've just felt that it does a lot better. It does a lot better of a job than if you're gonna water yourself. You know, so definitely do it in a time when it's raining a lot. And you know, just wait. You know, I think another thing about gardening is that you need patience. You know, just be patient and they will grow, you know. So I hope I answered that question with that person, for that person. Yeah guys, so that's gonna be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you are starting to garden, and let me know what's also growing in your garden. Let us know, you know, what else is growing in your garden, so that now we can actually build up a whole a whole collection of crops to grow in October, and we can all build a nice gardening family over here, man. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed. Love, peace, and grow something.